Hello, everybody, and welcome to yet another Social Blueprint interview. Well, friends, last week we had a great viewership for Nina Bassat, and especially her involvement with the Melbourne Holocaust Museum. So we thought today would be especially appropriate for another video dealing in that same subject, but also bringing with us today somebody who has not only helped the Jewish community, but his family literally has saved Jewish lives and is the very reason a number of people are here today in this generation. And with that introduction, Jaldi Benaj, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Jaldi, you're not Jewish, you are Albanian. But for people that don't know, the Albanian community has had such a positive impact and effect on our Jewish community. But before we get to that and to the whole history, I want to bring it forward to today. You come from an immigrant family. Now, at the same time, you see a lot of the protests at universities here, not just in Australia, but globally. But a lot of them are against democratic values, Australian values, people that are just frustrated. As somebody who has direct, I suppose, experience with other forms of government, when you see these kids, what would you say to them?
Well, thanks again for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to talk as somebody that is non-Jewish, but as you mentioned, my family has had the contribution, and a lot of Albanian families have. What I don't understand in this day and age is that, quite honestly, every democratic country has shifted from their own values. Okay. And I do feel that a lot of the kids in the universities as well, they are part of a huge propaganda, I'm feeling. And coming from a country that used to be a communist country, closed from the world for 51 years, we believed whatever was told to us. No facts, no studies, no nothing. So it was just a team of people who shaped the history the way they wanted, and everybody was just following it. So I'm feeling that, and I'm young too, I'm 34, and it's not that I'm so many years away from back to the university.
And that's a great spot because you can really feel both sides.
Exactly. So I'm young, and I'm part of this young generation and very close to uni students. And I think that many of the students nowadays, they haven't done the proper research. Okay. It is just an emotional reaction of something that they hear or they see in TikTok and on the Instagram. And it's just it's an impulse rather than thinking rationally. This is my belief in this day and age. And it was very interesting actually when, and I'm just going to flag this one for the moment, to the propaganda part. While we were doing the exhibition, the tour at the Melbourne Holocaust Museum, there was the radio there, and the CEO Steven Cooke, he said something very nice that I really liked, and he said, "You see the radio? This was the tool of propaganda back in World War II. So this, what you're looking at, is the TikTok and the Instagram of today. So you can say a lot of stuff there, and you can move masses by just using these tools. So that radio is the Instagram and TikTok of today."
Incredible. And also for people that aren't necessarily students, in the World War II era, that radio was very much biased, and there was a lot of information that was given that was specifically for certain people to consume, wasn't there?
Yes, it was. So again, people will always believe what a lot of masses think that is right. They don't do any more research. Is whoever gets the first news, just put it out there, everybody will be moved by it. They see it on a video nowadays, they see something, they read something, and they say, okay, this might be the truth. Let's rebel.
Interesting. And I suppose it comes back to value system in a lot of ways as well, that we really have to have a value system. And that's where I'm going to turn the clock back a little bit. Albania, the value system. I believe that Albania is the only country that did not round up Jewish people in Europe during the Holocaust era. What is it or what were the values in the country that caused that in a positive way?
Thanks for bringing this one up, because we have a term in Albania that we call Bassat.
Exactly.
And I want everybody to go and look, because
we'll link to it. Yeah,
it's something that I don't think that I've ever seen in any other country, especially in Europe, that I've traveled quite a lot. What Bassat means is, and I'm going to say it not in a formal way as you can find it.
Yes, okay.
I'll just put it as how I feel about Bassat. So, hospitality in Albania is something great.
Okay.
Or in simple way, Bassat and hospitality, when you read about it, looks like it's the same value that we welcome the guests and we treat you well and all that.
Right.
It's much more than that. So the whole idea is, if you come to my home,
right,
and you are my guest, it is my duty to protect you and whoever is with you in my home with my life. Meaning that you're not just coming for food and shelter and that's it, but I'm going to protect you while you're there with my life. And this is extremely important.
Interesting.
Also, if we promise something to you,
right,
we say, on my Bassat, I'm going to keep my promise. And if you are not true to your word, you are basically throwing away the Bassat, which for us is something that kind of like never happens. So if I give you my Bassat, means that I'm going to protect you and I'm going to be true to my word, to my word, as I have promised you at this very moment. And this is what a lot of Albanians have done. It is a value that nobody can teach you by just saying some words and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I promise you, and that's it. It's
so you can't watch it on TikTok in 20 seconds and know it.
Yeah, well, it's something that you have to experience. So Bassat is created through experience of your life and seeing other people implementing it. So it's not just some simple words, you know. And when you grow up with it, this is how you create that value in you.
Right.
I have it, and a lot of Albanians have it. And I believe because we grew up that way, I think that has helped us being that only country. And we are very small. I don't know if people understand how small Albania is. We're just 2 million people at the moment. We were the only country in the world who never released the list of Jewish people that we had in Albania at the time. I know that at the Melbourne Holocaust Museum is just 200 registered. However, from what we know and from what I know from my own sources in Albania, there are around 1,600, not 200.
Wow.
And it is quite a large number for a small country, put it this way.
Yeah.
And for people jeopardizing their families and their own lives to not give up the lists, it's something truly amazing. And I'm glad that some of my people, my family members, they have done that. And I grew up with these stories, and my father grew up with these stories, and my grandmother grew up with these stories. So to us, it's something big. And this is how you create Bassat. You tell these stories, and then you say, all right, so that was the right thing to do. So you grew up by doing the right thing to do.
Right. That's incredible, and I think it's such a lesson that we need to understand in 2024 as we're filming it right now, this value system, and also the fact that it was shown to you as much as told to you, I suppose.
It is shown. As I said, nobody can teach you how to be that person of such values.
Right.
So people have to, so you have to see your father or your mother, grandparents, how they do it and how they implement in the other people. And for me, it was shown in every different way that is possibly out there. So yeah, and that's why still to this day, I do believe in doing good deeds.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you that, and in your home today in 2024, this Bassat, it still takes place, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't matter if you're in Albania, Melbourne, or at Yad Vashem even. It
doesn't matter. So we are true to what we believe, so it doesn't matter where we are, in Albania, in here, or whatever you want. Right. It doesn't matter.
Well, on behalf of our community, and I mean the Jewish community, we have such a depth of gratitude towards you. And I am also glad to say that it has been acknowledged now. You visited the Holocaust Museum here in Melbourne, but also at Yad Vashem, isn't that correct?
Well, I haven't, but a family member that was our representative, they did in 1992, and I'm glad that I've shared some photos as well from the ceremony.
Yeah, please tell us.
But for the Melbourne Holocaust Museum visit, I need to stop there because for me it was an amazing experience. But before I go to me, I'm going to stop to my father, okay, because he's visiting Australia at the moment. He's a tourist, and he was pretty happy when I told him that, hey, Money, they have invited us and they want you to come as well. And he said, man, I don't speak any English. I said, don't worry, man, I'm gonna support. I talk a lot, so I'm gonna speak English and then translate to you in Albanian. He said something very, very nice. He said, I translated, I just went deep into the feelings of what has happened in World War II during Holocaust. And he said, having Nina there, present, and then reminding all the stories that I know and actually seeing stuff in the museum, that was such an experience. He said 2 hours, it felt like I was there for a whole month because there was too much in those 2 hours. And he said the feelings, and he's a big man and all that, and he said, I was starting feeling so emotional that I wish everybody could understand what I could say at every moment. And that was beautiful because, again, he's a bit rigid and, trying to be the big man of the house, the tough guy. But seeing him a bit vulnerable, that was beautiful. Yeah. And at the end, he kind of like had a small speech for Nina and Dr. Natalie. And I wish I would have translated it better, but I couldn't stop him because he was going on and on talking on how much he appreciated the moment. Yeah. And he said, I really now understand what all the stories that I was told meant, because when they are just stories, he said, there's not enough. But when you are here with somebody like Nina Bassat, and she's present there telling her side of the story, and then connecting them with the other story that you know, and actually seeing some stuff in the Holocaust Museum. Yes, incredible. Then that is fantastic. Now for me, it was brilliant. It was really, really good because I must say that I completely lost touch with the reality for those 2 hours. So I was just there, and it's a very special feeling. And this is what I'm telling to the people that are around me, that they should go. And maybe they might not have the chance to have the CEO to tour you for 2 hours. However, it is a great experience that everybody should go there and feel what I felt. It was amazing. You forget about your normal life and you just go there. You are there, at least for those 2 hours. I was there, focused on every little detail. Excuse me. And I said to Steve and Dr. Natalie and Nina that I wish that the tour was the whole day because it was so much. And if you really want to feel it and be there, you need to go to every part and listen to some of the stories and read and actually see even uniforms. So they were there, jackets that little kids were using, they were there. So they tell a story. So it was spectacular. It was really nicely done. Kudos to the architect as well. Amazing job. I felt great. And I must say something that is very important to me since we met together. And it's outside the Albanian community, I never felt so supported and respected and loved like with the Jewish people. That's amazing. So since we met and I'm telling my story, it's instant vibe change in the room, and I feel great. That's amazing because people are humble and they show the love and they show the respect like I've done something very big, which I might not understand because I'm the 4th generation from the people who did it. But receiving all these emotions to me is very important because no other community has done that towards me. So do you understand how important this is to me, and then to my father feeling that way, and my wife was there too, and we were quite impressed, I must say. So it was spectacular.
Yeah, look, I think that we're the ones it's right back at you because, and you met with Nia, someone like her, she would literally not be here today if it weren't for people like you.
I understand. And Nina is an amazing person.
Yeah.
Like, very knowledgeable, and her stories make sense. And she is wise, and I really want more and more people to just sit down and listen to a person with those experiences. Just listen.
Yep.
Because we shape the history from these messages that these people have, people like Nina, because they haven't had a normal life like us, like a normal childhood.
No.
And you just go play, and then all of a sudden you're in uni, and then you're a doctor or whatever, and that's it, normal. So people like Nina have sacrificed.
Yes.
And it's not easy for them. So for them to be here and have accomplished what she has accomplished, to me, is amazing. And for her to deliver messages, so a lot of people can listen to and abide by what people of this type of values have.
Yes.
I think that is great. And you just should just sit down and listen and try to grasp all the information that you can. At least this is what I do.
That's amazing. And speaking of value system, and again, to bring you to what you do today, you're a dentist. Maybe talk about that a little bit, and also how you are still giving back.
Currently, I'm serving as the operations manager of the Australian Dental Foundation. It's a great company because we do provide quite a lot of dental treatment to the kids for free. And again, this takes me back to the values that I do believe. Otherwise, I would have been in a just simple corporate, dental corporate, do it just for the money. However, I've chosen Australian Dental Foundation because I can give back. And it is interesting that I had this, put it this way, this opportunity of giving back, and it happened that we are giving back to the Jewish community as well. Since I met with some great people like Yoni and Sharon, and we sat down, and Tammy as well, we sat down and we were discussing how we can give back. And to me, it was very simple. To me, because we're offering this to a lot of aged cares and schools, and we were given the opportunity by the Melbourne Jewish Charity Fund as well to support the foundation so we can provide dental services to the Jewish community. And that has been amazing because just recently we were to the Yeshiva Beth Rivka school.
Right.
And it was a spectacular experience.
Tell us.
The staff was amazing. Because I was asking my staff members when they were going there, how did they treat you? How did you feel? Were they supportive?
Right.
And they were saying, well, we have to tell you something. You have to go back to that lady that connected you with the school and tell them that we should service all the other Jewish schools because they were supported, and this doesn't happen in many schools. So follow this because this is important.
Okay.
You go to a lot of schools, and then they just don't really mind. They just say, yeah, sit there in a room, and then all of a sudden, you just have to go and get the kids and do a lot of stuff.
Right.
Okay. While here we had people transporting in a way the patients to the room that we set up. They offered lunch to my team members. And everything was organized to the detail.
Okay.
And this is not normal for us because usually the dental assistants mainly, they do struggle a bit.
Right.
They run a lot of errands and they go here, go there. So usually it is pretty challenging. This wasn't, so they really liked it. They really felt the love. They really felt supported. And at least I felt great. So we could go to the school, deliver the services to the kids, no out-of-pocket expense for all the families, and everybody at the end, they gathered together in a class, and I've shared the photo as well, while we were doing our health presentation. So the little kids, they put some photos into this A4 cardboard box, and they sent it to us to say thank you. It's the only school who has done that.
Amazing.
It's the only school who has done that. And that is great. And going back to the point that I was saying, the love and the support and the respect that you receive after is amazing.
It's such a lesson about giving to get back and connecting with people and how a little respect can go a heck of a long way, can't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. And we will continue to do the same. We are offering our services to all the Jewish community members. There is no categories or anything like that. We have put out there our email,
Right.
our phone numbers. Everybody just should reach out. If they feel that they can't afford going to their traditional dentist, they should just reach out to me.
Yeah. And Jaldi, I don't know, everybody, the jokes are everyone hates going to the dentist. But in a nutshell, tell us why it is actually so important.
I am very big when it comes to dentistry on prevention.
Right.
So I tell everybody, just do the right little things, the little steps that the dentist tell you. Simple stuff like brush twice a day,
Right.
floss at least once a day, go to the dentist every 6 months. Because everybody should understand that a simple thing, a simple cavity to the dentist that might cost you a few $100,
Right.
after 6 months might go and cost you a few $1,000s, and it's going to hurt you, and it's going to be a nightmare, and then you're going to be in agony. And then it's going to get more and more complicated because you might lose your tooth, and then you might need an implant. So everything can escalate in dentistry. So
and it doesn't get better on its own.
It doesn't. So what I always tell everybody is just think about prevention. Stop your condition at that moment because
Right.
it will get worse if you just leave it and you disregard it. If it was something happening to your heart, everybody would go to cardiologists because they are fearing about their life. The good thing is that the majority of dental issues, they're not life-threatening. However, they do cause a lot of pain and a lot of discomfort and a lot of hurt to your pockets as well.
Yes.
So prevention is the biggest thing that I will always recommend to everybody. If you have something small, go to the dentist and fix it as soon as you can.
And you hear that, people? And you can even get it for free right now.
At the Australian Dental Foundation, you can. It's a service offered to all of you. Everybody should reach out if they have an issue, and we will support you.
Excellent. Jaldi, we want to end it more on a lighter note. Albania. It's become quite the tourist hotspot.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
We want to know, a lot of us, where should we go?
Going back to what I said, Albania is tiny. It's a small country. And you can visit all of Albania for, like, let's say, 10 days, if you will. Albania has a great combination of water and mountains and hills and fields. And all in a very tiny country. What I suggest, because it depends on the season that people want to go. If they want to go...
Give us both, please.
If they want to go during winter, which there is January and February, they should go to the mountains, but they have to do the due diligence. And the mountains, sorry, because I have to be more specific. The northern part of the Albania is more like the mountain part and the high country, let's say, using the same words as here in Victoria. The high country is the northern part. And if you want to go to the beaches, to the Riviera, is where I come from, is in the southern part, and it starts from a city that is called Vlora until a city that is called Saranda. It's all the beautiful part of the Ionian Sea. It's beautiful. It's exactly like Greece, much cheaper than Greece.
Okay.
I do recommend, though, going to Tirana as well, because it's becoming such a metropolitan city. You can go in Tirana at any moment. It doesn't really matter if it's summer or winter, it doesn't matter. Tirana is a hotspot at the moment. It was the youth capital of Europe last year. People say about Albania, a lot of tourists say, it looks like time stops. It's so chilled, it's so relaxed that it looks like you have more than 24 hours in Albania. The meetings are held in a coffee shop or in a restaurant. It's not like traditionally like here is done in an office, proper format.
Right.
There is way different.
Okay.
You're gonna find people in coffees all day. It's pretty chilled and it's very lively. It's a lot of music. It's really good. People do dress up very, very well.
Okay.
So they are all fashionista there. They really like to look good.
Okay.
Hospitality is amazing. Restaurants are
Right.
amazing, spectacular, mainly in Tirana, right? I do recommend everybody to go there because you should know more about Albania. And we have a lot of museums. And as you might know, we
Right.
have a Jewish a museum as well
Yes.
in Berat called Solomon. That is a nice place for everybody to go and visit. And
Yes.
Berat is a fantastic, we call it the 1,000-window city. It is amazing. When it comes to the food, it is to me is the best food in the world. It is a
Yes.
combination of Italian, Greek, and Turkish cuisine.
Sounds like a pretty good combination.
It is a very good combination, and how can I put it? It's done usually by, if you have a restaurant, mainly your grandmother or your mom will be the
Okay.
chef. So it is traditional, it is fresh, and Albania, thank God, is still organic mainly.
Right.
So it's not that you have mass production of tomatoes and all that. So you still go to the farmers and get it.
Okay.
It's quite organic and it's quite affordable compared to Italy, Greece, or Turkey. So
What's not to like? Yeah.
it is pretty nice. So it depends what you feel like having as food. We do have something that is kind of like authentic Albanian, but if I try to compare it with something else, it won't.
It just
make
doesn't.
sense.
You just have to try it.
But you have to try it. It is really, really, really delicious.
Yeah.
And affordable, as I said, because a lot of people are thinking that it's quite expensive nowadays and everything, the cost of living are up
Yes.
and all that. Give it a try to Albania. So don't go to Greece, but go to Albania, and you're going to find a little Greece in Albania. But I personally think better.
Excellent. Jaldi, thank you so much. This has been really an absolute delight. There's just no other way to put it.
Well, thank you for having me, and it's a great pleasure. And whenever you want to talk to me or for whenever I can help, you just reach out.
And everybody, remember that word, Bassat.
Thank you.